What is DreamCatcher? DreamCatcher's focus is to empower New Zealand's youth by giving them the tools, extensive ideas, contacts and structure for their thoughts to make informed decisions to foster ownership of their future. DreamCatcher allows students and parents to share their career planning journey while allowing you, the career practitioner and teachers, to add value to many students in a timely and effective way. Features including the parent portal, career research structures with links and communication through messages and texting.
My name's Kate Harvey, I'm Head of Careers at Sacred Heart College in Auckland. DreamCatcher has really taken off better than I thought it would have done. The students have got a one-stop shop and they've got this tool in front of them that they refer to a lot.
DreamCatcher gives students the opportunity to assess themselves against the competencies, discovering their strengths and weaknesses to be used in goal development, curriculum vitae writing and scholarship application letter writing.
This is like the third time we've been using DreamCatcher this year, and we have filled in our personal details, extracurricular activities, and we've done some goal setting.
We used DreamCatcher to evaluate ourselves in the key competencies, and that helped us create goals which we could focus on for the rest of the year.
The key competencies, personal development, value areas were all very important because it meant that we had to take a good look at ourselves and actually truly evaluate how strong we were in each field. It helped to show us where we're strong, where we're weak, what needs working on, and gives us ideas on how we can improve on that. Extracurricular activities was very important for us to keep up to date because we needed an accurate record of how much we'd done in community service, sporting, cultural, all those sorts of activities as part of our graduation. It also made it very easy to have a record of what we had done when we needed to write our cover letters, our CVs, testimonials, anything like that, as it was all right there, all recorded on one page.
My name is Jason Cornford. I'm the Director of the Academic Institute at Sacred Heart College, Auckland. I'm in charge of teaching, learning and curriculum. Well, this year with our Year 11 students, we've and the deans and their homeroom teachers, we've taken on board a system of academic mentoring whereby students have been setting goals, refining them and updating them as the year progresses in light of changes to their behaviour, achievements and so on. And this has really helped to keep the students focused and it's an attempt by us for them to take ownership of their learning through the year. And by the end of the year we found that students are very focused and keen to know how many credits they have and how many they still have to get to achieve their qualification that they've set their goal for. And it's a wonderful opportunity as well for them to see practically how pastoral staff, the deans and their homeroom teachers can support them with their learning directly. And it's certainly a system that we intend to continue with and enhance through to other year groups next year.
If we didn't have DreamCatcher, we would have had to write our goals in our health books, which would have been really difficult to go back and reflect on them and edit them. We'd have to just rewrite them all out again, which wouldn't have been easy, and DreamCatcher's a lot easier and better to use.
If I didn't have DreamCatcher, I probably would have written most of my goals on refill, which no doubt would have got lost in my bag or in my room somewhere along the line.
Having the goals on DreamCatcher really helps because my parents can have a look at what I've been striving for as well and also add their comments in. It's really good because I can edit them at any time if anything changes or becomes irrelevant to what I'm doing.
My dad's always pestering me about setting goals, and DreamCatcher's helped me actually create the goals, so he's now really pleased.
I think that goal setting is really important because it allows you to have something to aim for during the year and something to achieve, and when you've achieved it you're really happy and proud.
I think that through the small steps that I put in place in my DreamCatcher, I have been able to achieve my goals throughout this year.
Being an all-male school, the boys took to using the computer, DreamCatcher, and particularly when setting goals, it was much easier for some reason for them to be sitting there at a computer doing it. If you ask them to do goal setting on paper, they just sit there going, oh no, we don't want to do this. Whereas on the computer, on DreamCatcher it was great, but more importantly the task section of that was great because their tasks show up on the calendar and they've really just taken to using DreamCatcher full stop. better than I thought they would. With our Māori and Pacifica students, particularly when it comes to goal setting, when I work with the Director of Academic Studies, we actually sit down with all the students when we are setting their goals and talk about the academic goals first. So what do we need in order to gain NCA level 1, 2 and 3? And with the Māori and Pacifica students, we work very closely with them, but I think this just hits home that, wow, I do need to get these qualifications. What do I need to get there? And so it all fits in nicely with the whole career process.
The subject selection process no longer sits in isolation within the school calendar. It allows students to link the curriculum and level of study with their future possible pathways, bringing relevance into the classroom.
In Term 3 this year, I was involved in helping other year level groups choose their subjects. Using DreamCatcher was very handy because it meant that the links to what the subject entailed, what you needed to get into it, where it could lead were all right there, and because of that it made it very easy for us to help the students make informed decisions on where they wanted to head. There was quite a few tools on there that showed the links between certain subjects and the pathways that it could lead to, which I think was very handy for the students.
In Term 3 this year, we used DreamCatcher to decide on our 2 options for next year, and I found it really easy because we could click on each option and see what they were all about and what would be better for us to take. And it was really easy, and we just clicked on it, and that's what I'm taking for next year. We got an email from DreamCatcher sort of halfway through Term 3 to remind us that subject selection is now open, and it was really helpful for us to start thinking about what options we wanted to take next year. And yeah, we had a good think about that. It's really good. Once we had selected our subjects for next year, we got an email from DreamCatcher saying that we were accepted into the subject. When I was selecting my options for next year, I had a look at the subject pathways for the options I was taking, so like in year 11, 12 and 13, and if it was available for NCEA, and it was really helpful to see what I could be taking in the future.
At the moment I'm at the University of Auckland and I'm studying a Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Science. This is my pre-med year and hopefully I'll be in medicine for 2012. Well, with Biomedical Science there wasn't actually a subject requirement, but you needed to get the rank score to get in. And using DreamCatcher I was able to plan what subjects would best suit me to be able to make that rank score and work backwards to make sure I was getting the grades exactly what I needed to do, so it basically made me plan out what I needed for the future.
The Career Ideas section helps foster the importance of career exploration through to capturing many future possibilities within DreamCatcher.
Today we started going on the Career Ideas section of DreamCatcher, and it helped us to think about what we might want to do in the future for our careers, and there was lots of options and it was really cool, and it gave us a big wide choice of what we might want to do in the future. I think it's really important to start thinking about what careers we might want to take when we're in the future, and DreamCatcher has been really helpful to help us sort of think about what we might want to do. It's been really good.
The Career Ideas section in DreamCatcher was a really handy tool to use because it enabled the students to broaden their mind of what different career pathways there were. It enabled them to get past what they saw on TV and what their friends and family do for jobs. The tools on the Career Ideas page are really easy to use. There's things like Subject Matcher, Skills Matcher and Jobs by Interest. These really help the students to find out what they're interested in and how they can link to what future employment they might be interested in.
When we're teaching career education to students, the boys love going into the Career Ideas section where they're looking up jobs by interest and starting to form opinions or ideas about jobs, and also questioning what is this job. So from there we then go on to career research, and that's when they copy and save information about jobs. Now that is getting them thinking. Our boys do that from year 9 onwards, and more importantly as they get older they can change that or delete it, but it also helps them choosing their subjects for the following years. The other part of that career research is then they have to look at providers, and that's where they start saving providers as to where they want to go or where they can go in order to do that job. So that also is an excellent facility for the boys to use. The tertiary section is also important for boys who are looking at scholarships, doing halls of residence, and they love it when it pops up. The university's popped up with all the different halls of residences, and they tick the boxes of their first, second and third choice. And from my point of view too, when doing halls of residence confidential reports, it is a great resource. And the boys also find the calendar really good, and they're the first ones to blame themselves. If they come in and say, I've missed this date, tough, they know it's been there since February, so they've got to take accountability.
DreamCatcher is very handy because it has all the links to your tertiary providers installed in it. So that means that when you're doing your career research and you figure out what you want to do, it also has the links to help you decide where you want to study that.
DreamCatcher has a lot of useful links for tertiary providers, including ITOs, PTEs, apprenticeships, work in the government, universities and polytechs.
DreamCatcher makes decision making a lot easier because it has a whole streamlined process. You start off by choosing your ideas, and you go into researching those ideas, then you look at where you can study for those ideas, and then you can prioritise your top 5 or more if you need, and then you also get your plan A, B and C, and the whole streamlined process of that makes it very easy.
My name's Morgan Clarkin. I've just spent 1 year at Waikato University studying a Bachelor of Management Studies and a Bachelor of Arts. So last year I was a Careers Ambassador at Mount Maunganui College. Basically my role for that was to help out the rest of the school in choosing their DreamCatcher pathway. But at the same time I was also involved with making my own pathway choice on DreamCatcher. At the start of the year I wanted to go to Victoria University to study politics. DreamCatcher basically gave me the resources to weigh up what would be better for me, what I enjoy doing. Basically gave me a better idea of what I needed to do and where I'd come out. And so now I'm no longer studying politics nor at Vic. I am studying international management, French and Chinese. So quite a different outcome to what I originally intended, and that's just because I had so much more information than I ever did before.
DreamCatcher helps manage the gateway application process and validate student requests through career research.
Okay, good morning, Tess.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in. You've obviously got my text, and we've been in conversations through DreamCatcher in regards to your future career. Well, we're down to the final 5, but I mean that you realistically know that could change. But at number 1, we've got secondary school teaching. How would you feel about a kindergarten?
That sounds awesome. I have a niece and nephew at home that I look after quite a lot, so I have good interaction with kids.
Yes,
Yeah.
so you've had a bit of hands-on experience with that. Okay, well, what I can do is I'll get back to the head teacher at the school. We'll do some negotiating. We'll just have a look at the time frame as to when that can happen.
Yeah.
And I will message you through DreamCatcher.
That's cool.
To say where we're at in terms of the process, and then we can go down. I'll introduce you to the principal, and then we can go from there.
Described as the hub, DreamCatcher houses well over 1,000 links ready for students to click. Our Halls of Residence request system extracts relevant data for each student, ready to use for halls applications, testimonials, references and scholarship applications.
DreamCatcher has helped the Halls of Residence application process because it has pulled everything together that we've done over our 5 years that's in DreamCatcher, pulled it all together, which makes it really easy to create a PDF file.
That PDF that is formed, you can use it as a cover letter for applying for scholarships, Halls of Residence, as well as using it to help you build a CV. It is very easy to use it for that sort of thing.
The PDF that we created was used by other staff members. It was easy for them to read it, to write testimonials and references that we could use for our future education. The scholarship links on DreamCatcher were really easy to use because it had a very specific list of school scholarships with all the links on it, so anyone you clicked on would just have a direct line of information for everything that you need to know.
I find DreamCatcher is a great communication tool between myself, the students, and more importantly their parents and teachers, and also our mentoring people who come in and particularly talk to Year 13 students. From a counselling point of view, it's an excellent tool because when I do sit down and talk to students, I always type up notes. So both parents, teachers and our mentors can see exactly what we've talked about, and if there's any follow-up tasks to be done, everyone can see what that student needs to do. I'm not a computer savvy person, and I was a little bit worried about that when I first had DreamCatcher, but if I can use DreamCatcher, anybody can use DreamCatcher, and the students really caught on to it because the boys love using tools and the computer has been a great way for them to start thinking about their career research and dreams. The other very important tool I use with DreamCatcher, which has been the most successful, is the calendar. The calendar I can put on closing dates for scholarships, for university courses and programs, if we have people coming into school, career visitors or expos or whatever, and it's sitting there all year, so students have to be self-motivators and self-managers, and they have to go and look at that calendar, particularly the Year 13s. If they don't look at that calendar, I don't put any notices in, and I haven't done any career notices for 2 years now, and by goodness, the children soon get onto the calendar. Great for the parents to know when closing dates for everything is too. The other system I use in DreamCatcher, which the boys and I utilise most, would be the messaging system. I text them a lot and find we get instant response, and also messaging. So if they want to get back to me and ask me questions, they message me through DreamCatcher and vice versa. But if I want to see them very quickly, I can just text them.
Parents now have their own access to DreamCatcher through the Parent Portal. They can receive messages and access their son/daughter's profile at a time convenient to them. Parents can now access the tertiary provider links, getting themselves up to date, ready to help their child.
Students who don't have computers at home have access to our computers in our careers department at interval and lunchtime. One of the benefits for DreamCatcher, for our students, is we are a boarding school. So our boarders, parents who live throughout the country and even some overseas, have 24-hour access to DreamCatcher. So that is a real benefit to them.
It's been an eye-opener, especially from a parent who's come from a different era to now, and I love it because it means that I can see what's going on and what progress she's making. Okay, the Parent Portal in DreamCatcher, you can actually access it through the internet, which I love because it means I can bring it into my home instead of having to go to the school, because sometimes schools can be quite intimidating and teachers can be quite intimidating. So it's nice to have it in your own home and have some personal space to actually discuss things with your family, and I love that idea.
As a careers advisor, if you haven't got DreamCatcher, you probably have thousands of information sheets about your students and their strengths and weaknesses and what they enjoy and what they do in their leisure time and outside of school. Having DreamCatcher, that paperwork is gone. There's a one-stop shop and it is really brilliant. I've got rid of all that paperwork. Yeah, with DreamCatcher, I have had more time to do counselling, and I do put more time into writing my notes up too now, because I know that the parents and other staff members are going to see that, and also setting clear goals for those students when I want to see them again next time. So paperwork, all that sort of thing has almost been eradicated. The reports section on DreamCatcher is an excellent facility for careers advisors. If I'm wanting to know where students are going when they do leave school, I can push the button and find out who is going to what tertiary provider, whether it be Otago, Victoria University or Polytechnics or PTEs. The other resource that we use within that function is the at-risk students. So some students may be choosing wrong providers or wrong courses, so we can pick that up also, and we do pick that up too when they're doing subject selection. The other facility I like is when they've chosen their provider A, B and C. This is for Year 13s. So I know who their first choice provider is, and if I have those people in to visit, I would expect to see the student there also.
In my role, I use DreamCatcher principally for subject selection. Students start using the career ideas, the career research tool, to inform them about what their qualifications and subjects they require for particular career pathways. And then they combine that and use that alongside academic progress reports and teacher comments. They bring that to an option interview and after their option interview they enter their subjects directly into DreamCatcher. It's then only a matter of a few clicks of the mouse to get the information out into the SMS, and I have information from my principal on staffing and classes for next year. And this system is far more efficient and faster than the previous system where administration staff would then manually load on student data into the SMS on option choices, and we would get class sizes and implications for staffing for the following year many weeks down the track. Subject selection process no longer sits isolated from their career choices. The DreamCatcher really helps to link and give a reason why students should pick certain subjects for their options the following year. Well, subject selection is now integrated with the career ideas and the career choices the students make. DreamCatcher is used to inform those students of those subject selection processes, and so therefore they are able to see the link directly with the work that Kate and I do with them between their academic goals, their career pathways and their exit qualifications. They also get to see the link between the curriculum, their future aspirations and pathways, and the effort that is required to achieve these.
Honestly, without DreamCatcher, I don't think I would have been properly planned for my future career and even just being at university. So I reckon that DreamCatcher is an amazing tool that all schools should use because the help it gives is amazing.
In a way, DreamCatcher grows with you as you grow through college. It's it's almost an organic program that grows with you.
Oh, look, I wish we had DreamCatcher when I was a teenager, when I was a student, because if that had been the case, there would have been a large amount of young people going into jobs that they were passionate about. You know, I'm not concerned about it because I know that she's got, she knows what she wants. The program helps her, and it also assists me in making sure that she stays on the right track. And that is important for me. I want her to have a really good education, and the only way to do that is keep the finger on the pulse.
As a career ambassador this year, I think the biggest thing that I've found is we've been helping students to help themselves. We've also been allowing teachers to get to know their kids better, or their students better, along the lines of what are they interested in and where could they potentially head in a couple of years' time.
I think any teacher or school that's still involved in a manual-driven system should change to something that is going to be IT-based, because once you have that data set up, it's sort of almost unlimited what sort of information you can withdraw from that data. And with a program like DreamCatcher, we can withdraw all sorts of data that's then useful for our own planning, for helping students and their planning, and it just gives us so much more opportunities than if you've got this stuff on paper or just in a manual system.
I think that our use of DreamCatcher will enable us to rank very, very highly in our benchmarks. I think that we are a long way ahead of where a lot of other schools will be. Our students have been using DreamCatcher for a large number of years, and therefore they understand the key competencies that are in there. They understand how they need to rank with those. While their DreamCatcher is live with them at school, that they can take all their data once they leave us and just use it as an ongoing thing when they move to any tertiary provider. Our staff are actively involved in various departments with the career delivery, so I think Mount Maunganui College is going to be well prepared for the benchmarks when they arrive, and I'd rank us at competent now, and I think we'll be just moving heads and we'll be just moving leaps and bounds towards them.